Hello, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
How are we doing today?
All right. Well, fantastic, amazing. Those words don't even describe it. So this is my second ever session with Kevin, and to go over my first session. Wow, that was like a few months ago, and like, again, words can't explain it. People were like, "What are you on?" Like, what happened to you? And basically, what happened is a lot got released for me. I have done a lot of mental work, shadow work. I've therapy, whatever you want to call it. And we work on our heart, we work on our spirit. But then I work on my body as well. But then there's this whole yin aspect, which is, stretching, yoga, and all that stuff. But it's not just that. There's this whole pain aspect that I was not exploring. And Kevin really brought me to, realize there's a whole new level of relaxation after you go through a certain type of pain. So that's where that neural release comes from, is I like to describe it like during this session, I really learned that he wasn't really inflicting pain. He was just saying, hey, here's this wall. I'm going to push you towards that wall as far as I can. And if I can't go further, fine. But, there were some points where he's pushing down physically and he's up against my spine. And I said, hey, can you go deeper? And he's like, I am touching your spine, so this is as deep as it goes. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe physically I can do that. But really what this works on is your mental push. That's really where it came from, because my mind, as long as my mind was in the way, my body was never going to be able to do that. So it is a lot more surrendering to not just to what your body does, but what life does to you. It's such a holistic thing. Like Kevin didn't call it KI holistics for no reason. And so that's the biggest part, is while you're on the table, it's more so than just the physical work. It is the mental and emotional release and that spiritual being that you become, that you, whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever it is, even if you're atheist, you just feel this energy that you're like, oh, that is there, and I can always tap into that. So that's what Kevin helps your body remember, is how to do that with just a simple breathing exercise. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and you said you surrender. I mean, I feel like it's almost like you're surrendering to your own pain, right? I mean, because
Yes.
Before you try to protect yourself from feeling that pain. That's why we hold on to it for so long. We don't know what to do with it. We're almost afraid of it. We don't even know it's there.
And it's interesting because, as kids, we were taught, hey, you can run, fall down, do all this stuff. But when you become an adult, all of a sudden, oh no, you have to protect everything that you are. Everything that you are. And for what reason? It's this whole fear mentality. And, whether you believe fear exists or not, it's this feeling that's there. And if we do not face that, not just the fear, but, like you mentioned, the pain, the surrendering to that pain, then, that's why you're not getting what you want in life, really. No matter what you believe in. So I don't necessarily believe in God, but I do believe in, things work the way they work. And if I don't push myself, that's why I'm not getting what I want. So in a physical sense, when I surrender to that type of pain, I'm like, that pain is nothing compared to what I'm going to experience off the table. So even though it feels like in the moment like you're about to die, and no, it's not that bad.
For half a second.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. I don't know what people's pain thresholds are. You see, I have tattoos. People always ask, "Does that hurt?" I'm like, well, obviously, if a needle piercing your skin doesn't hurt to you, then good for you. But yeah, I don't know what hurt is to most people. And then it is I think we talked about this, Daniel, is it's turning pain and hurt into I actually appreciate this. This is actually helping me grow. Then you take that into your life and oh, you know what? I didn't have to feel bad about all this pain. I didn't have to feel sad. I just had to feel for however long it took, and then release. And then Kevin just shows you, oh, I can show you how to do that in 1 second. So in yesterday's session, you're filming, there was a live filming session working on my shoulders, and you're asking me like, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking about? And it's actually nothing. The best thing you can do is not try to process what you were holding on to.
The breath. Yeah.
Just breathe it
on
out.
The breath.
Don't go into your head, because it doesn't matter. You can process it all you want, and in the end, it won't make you happy. Analyzing everything in your life isn't going to make you happy. So it's like, oh, that was just a thing. Just let that go and move on, because it's just like everything in your past is just this movie. If you want to replay that movie, go ahead. But I'm like, you know what? That was kind of painful, so maybe I don't want to see that scene, And it goes back to what Kevin is saying, is like we all hold these emotional centers, and it's not nothing that happened way back in my past. It may just been happen since my last treatment. Since 3 months ago, something was going on, and it wasn't nothing big, but it affected me, and I held on to it. And I'm unaware of that, but now I am. And if you never heard of the book from Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Body, she breaks down like the different centers for like why you feel pain. Like, for example, a lot of people sit around, they have a sedentary lifestyle and have lower back pain. And if you do everything that you need to do, if you stretch it out and everything, and you're doing yoga and you still have that pain, that could be you're worrying about your finances too much. So, and when I say that to people, they're like, how do you know that I'm struggling with your finances?
Worrying about everything. I mean, finances plus everything else. It's an unbalanced amount of worry.
Yeah, and then those different worry centers go to different areas too, right? So like in your mid back, it's not worry about finances. It's actually you're guilty of something. So when you hold guilt in your mid back, a lot of people feel that. They're like, there's like this stone there. It's like, nah, yeah, I mean, you can massage that all you want, but you have to release that emotionally. Yeah. So, but with that said, Kevin does help you while on the table release that, and sometimes that does come up. Sometimes a memory does come up, or whatever it is, and you work through it, and it's like, oh, there it goes, and all that's left is abundance. That's all I can say about that.
Yes. So how was it that you were drawn towards Kevin for your first session?
Yeah, so I met him through mutual friends, this group called the Wake Tribe, and it was not only just like the vibe that I got from this group, because they're a conscious community, they thought they're like-minded people. That's really what it came down to, is I started hanging out with like-minded people, and that's how I ran into Kevin. And it's at the same time, the whole holistic lifestyle. I think I was in the middle of a cleanse, or I was just eating well, and my intuition was well. So that means my gut was cleansed, and my intuition told me that Kevin, first sight, just the first vibe is like, this guy actually is the real deal. He's not just some dude. He's like, oh, I can push on these centers, and like, the whole thing where they're like, oh, push on this hand and I'll do this. Like, oh, now you're stronger, right? Because they pushed it at a different angle. No, he didn't do any of that stuff. He actually doesn't have to do a demo. He just happened to do a demo on me. And I'm like, wow, that's nothing I ever felt. And it was just like immediately, just working on my arm here, my shoulder dropped down and it wasn't tensed up like this. Not that it was bad. Even before this session, it wasn't bad at all. It's just like, I didn't know how much better it could be, and it's not about being perfect, but it's like getting yourself back to that balance, and your body will just bring back its own perfection, because you are perfect the way you are. We all are on the inside, and we just happen to be controlling this vessel. And then Daniel said it the best, like, you have to really want this. You have to really want to be here. And, if I'm going to control this vessel, why not make it be the best freaking ship that's on this planet, right? And if I don't get there, that's fine, because that's just my ego anyway. So it's really a lot of great life lessons that you actually learn, and you would never think by Kevin pressing on areas that hurt would get you there.
Right. It's so obvious now, like, oh, obviously they taught me in massage school that pain is the body's way of letting you know that something needs your attention. Something needs attention. It needs love or whatever, healing, whatever you want to call it. It needs attention. So if you're feeling pain in your knee, most people look at their knee, touch their knee, rub their knee, and we try to fix it, whatever's wrong with it. But then when you got these internal pains like you're talking about, what do you do?
Yeah. Because
what do you do?
Teaches you that,
No,
right?
nobody talks about it. It's almost taboo, because it's no one thinks they have the time or tools to get rid of it, or release it, to look at it, really, see that it's there.
And it all comes down to like, what people are aware of, what people call normal, what people accept. Because like it is being more accepted that people are talking about their emotions. Like guys are actually able to cry. Wow! And that, by the way, that's what makes a man. It's not that you cry, but it's at the other end of that. But you allow yourself to feel that emotion. And we're taught as men, nope, we only have one thing, and this is machismo. That's the only way to run. Mm-hmm. And I'm guilty of that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of men are, and it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's not anybody's fault, really, until we take personal responsibility for how we act and what we bring into our lives in later life. Then that's why when we have like children, for example, we set these rules to say, hey, they need to be taken care of up to a certain point because they have no clue. They're going to get demolished in life, so and unfortunately when we could become adults, that's when we realize that we were a-holes as teenagers. But then it's always forgiving yourself for that, and this is where we could become mature. It's like now I can talk to teenagers not as adults did back when I was then as a teenager. I can talk to them like, I get it. You have all these hormones and all this stuff going on in your life. I have no idea what's going on in your home life, but it probably isn't the best, even though you have this picture perfect, Instagram, nice family looking thing going on in your life. It's probably not that. So it's really becomes down to, it's not about like how old the teenager is or anything like that. It's just being real with them. Like, hey, look, I've been where you have been. I am pissed off about how you act. I'm just letting you know in a kind way. And I would like for that to stop so that you don't go down the same route I did, and it's not about how old I am or, when I woke up. It's just like, there is a better way. And I do feel a lot of gratitude for a lot of like young kids who have gone through personal development like I have in my 30s. They're doing this at a younger age. So not just the mind, but now it's the body.
Yeah. So how many more sessions do you have? How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's basically, so that's that. I think I like talking about that with you, Daniel, is like we talk about, there's packages, there's sessions, and Kevin's not all about that. He just has that because he knows, exactly what a person may need. But like what we have is like, hey, Kevin knows that I know how to take care of my body. It's like when you need it, that's when you're going to come, and he's going to know it too. So it's not like we have this set agreement of like this many sessions or whatever. So to answer that question, I don't know when my next session is, but I can't wait.
Cool. I like that. The free-formedness of it. It's like wait for that feeling.
Yes.
And because even if you schedule it, sometimes too far out. A lot of things can change in those times. Maybe something can happen, you schedule it for 3 weeks from now, and then the day before something happens or whatever, and you're not feeling up to it.
Oh, but to that point, it's to the whole scheduling thing is to respect both people's schedules, obviously.
For sure.
And to the point when you're talking about something may come up where you're not up to it, that's exactly why you need to do it at that point.
Yeah, that's like pretty much you're accidentally self-sabotaging yourself or something. Maybe like I don't
automatic
know,
self-defense
because you're kind of you're kind of nervous, afraid of this new thing that might get rid of stuff that you're used to.
Yeah. Or if you've done it before, exactly what's coming out. It's like, oh, they want to go through that. Just like yesterday, I had this sinus pressure I was like in bed, in my warm, comfy bed, and I'm like, I'm going to have to jump into an ice bath. This is awesome. But, you know, after doing that, I felt way better. And just Kevin working on my neck or wherever it is, released something in my sinuses, and I was able to breathe better, and I wasn't sniffling during that time. So, and, you know, it is middle of spring right now, and so, yeah, my allergies are acting up, but this helps out too.
For sure.
Yeah. Anything else for now? We're just free for a minute. So,
Yeah.
We can edit this. I guess I can just do a parting word, just like, you know, number one thing, I am blessed and grateful that not only have I met Kevin, but like everybody who has worked with Kevin, like Daniel is operating the camera right now. And and there's like someone off to the side, they're having a side of conversation with Kevin, and it's like, you know, you can see things coming together, you know, not just in my own little circle, but just around the world. You know, so this is all about awakening people, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to be able to share with others that the fact that, you know, you are never stuck, you're never alone, you're always loved, and there's just always people around, and, you know, this is just one of those tools, but it's not just a tool. It's kind of like if you ask me, should I use a bicycle to get to the beach, or should I use a Ferrari? Kevin is your Ferrari to get you to where you need to go. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, nice. I like that. All right, well,
cool.
That's that.